everybody, and welcome to DC Fine Art. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I am going to give you guys a studio tour of my studio. So I just thought it would be really nice for you guys to see on how I work, how I store my things, maybe give you some ideas too. If you have an art studio out there and you're just kind of trying to get ideas of what you could do for storing some of your artwork, or maybe some of the mediums that you work in, how to store them. Maybe you might be able to see some things that might interest you and become like something more convenient and more organized. You never know. Or you could look at it and say, okay, that's something that I'm not gonna do. So in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a full view of my art studio and how I store my supplies, along with giving you an unseen video of my craft room. So I know you guys have not been in my craft room or seen me work in my craft room. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of that room also. So let's go ahead, turn this video around, and I'll do a walk around and show you guys on a little tour. All right, starting off in my art room, we have the studio. Let me zoom out. So this is where I do a lot of my drawings on, or a lot of my watercolors on. I do it on this art table here. As you can see, I got my little camera holder attached to my table. And then I usually keep my keyboard down here. Mouse is sometimes up there. Sometimes I take my keyboard out. And then here is my easel. As you can see, I'm still working on this painting, so everything is all cluttered up. And then I got my TV up there where I can watch TV or listen to TV while I'm doing my artwork. Got a super bright light up here, so I can either have that on or off depending on what I'm doing, because sometimes my eyes just can't see as good at certain times, and I'll kick that on and I can see perfectly. So here's where I keep my airbrush. I know I got like paint on the carpet. That was mostly done by my cat and me, so I'm to blame too. And then here is my little paint table here. It's got a little tray on the side. It actually removes. You can actually let that off and change it up if you want to. And then inside here is my small tubes of Liquitex Basic acrylic paints, along with my heavy body paints in here. And the middle drawer is where I keep my bigger tubes of paint. So it's in there, acrylic paint. Here is my glass palette, along with my Gamblin's 1980s oil paints. I keep them there. That's not all of them though. There's only just a few. And then down below is just like my medium textures that I want to add to any of my acrylic paints. Here is where, this is actually supposed to be a jewelry like necklace hanger that came with that as one whole piece. Well, I ended up having two of them, so I used it for my art. Here is my soft pastel soft tools. Got my tape to hang it on here, along with my scissors. And then here on this bottom bar, instead of hanging necklaces, you can hang your washi tape. How cool is that? And it just comes right off so easily. So that's where my washi tape is. In this drawer, I just keep, whoops, there goes my little fox. I thought he was cute. It's from my nails. Here is my erasers. In this drawer is my watercolor paints, or at least some of them. I got some of the watercolors up here, along with my beams. Up here, I have Max off the Grinch. So we got the Grinch, and then we got Max. And this is just some extra pencils that I put up here. Some of them are not light fast, so I can just use them for whatever I feel like using them for if I need them, instead of wasting a good pencil. Down here is just some of my 12 by 16 sheets of paper, or I think there's some 11 by 14s down there too. I know I still have St. Patrick's stuff up, but that's just because I absolutely love these little birds and I like the way they look and they make me happy, so I kept them there. I just love it. Here's some more sheets of paper that I've got, like little pads of paper. These are some smaller, some go up to a 9 by 12. They're not usually bigger than 9 by 12 in the smaller one. It would have to go in that bigger one. Here's some extra of my pencils or Liquitex Basics, or anything that I have there is extra. along with my Cricut cutter and my golden high flow airbrushing paints. Down below, I keep some of my fixatives along with my camera, and inside this box is just my nails that I do. In this one here, I keep my extra pencils. So I use one of the Caran d'Ache soft pastel box here, leaned over. But this is where I keep my extras in case I run out. I've got them in here. And then over here are more oil paints. So these are my Winsor, Winsor & Newton, and along with some of the Gamma 1980s mixed in. Ooh, bend over and get out of breath. Here's my little rolling cart that I have. I put a lot of the Liquitex Basics or anything that I'm working on and I need to roll it over there for extra storage, I can. Here's a lot of my oil pastel or my oil painting brushes, watercolor pencils I just have there. Here's little tubes of my oil paint. But what's really nice about this is right here. Not only can you roll it around, but you also got paper that you can store right here. So these are my paper towels for my acrylics. And if I turn it all the way around, it's got another roll there, which is my Viva paper towels for any of my oil paintings or my oil pastels. I hang my rulers and my little like sander thing here, my sifter, and a eraser brush. Off to the side, it's got these little pegboards, which is really nice because this is where I stick my sanding, like my sanding blocks for my soft pastels to be able to sand and sharpen them. So I really do like that little thing. Okay, up here I have, and this is what you guys usually see in the background, these are my oil brushes, my ink brushes, Bigfoot, gotta love Bigfoot, I love Bigfoot, so cool. My mix brushes for mixed media or just anything, don't mind if they get damaged, our acrylic brushes, and then my watercolor brushes. And then over here on this little thing, here I just kind of keep some random stuff, but I do have my Frisket here and some of my glassine. Here's just some pencils that are not light fast that I took out, put them in here so that way if I ever want to use them, I can. Here's where I stick my tracing paper, and then also one of these wet things that you can put inside of your palette to keep your palette wet. It's a wet mat thing. Here in this little cabinet thing is where I keep things that I'm still working on, like work in progress stuff. I also have a mat in here that I keep just to kind of see how things look inside if it were matted. But yeah, anything that I'm working on or currently working on or have not finished, I keep the stuff for it in case I need to go back to it until it's completely done. This is just B marker paper. I never really liked it that much, but I do use it because it makes great for test sample sheets or anything that I need to do. This here is my 11 by 14 sheets of stuff, and this here is the Lux Archival paper. This here is 12 by 16. Now, in this bottom drawer here is where, or this drawer here, I just keep some of my notebooks and things to keep track of prices, or if I'm running out of product, you know, that I'm using, like color pencils, I'll be able to have it in here so I know to order it, or any of that stuff. I just keep track of it. Here is my watercolor canvas boards. Keep them in here. Here is my mixed media canvas boards. Anything that's an 8 by 10 size, I keep in here. One pastel board. I use these for oil pastels, and right now I am running out of those. Bottom here are some Fredrix. These are metallic canvas boards that are actually cardboard on the back. So they're really super nice to work on. I mean, I did that mummy up there, King Tut or whatever, and I liked working on it. It's just this cardboard on the back, which is really kind of stumped me on why they just kind of left it open like that. But I have seen paintings and stuff like that done like this and sold in stores, and it literally had cardboard in the back and it was just printed on. So I was like, really? But anyways, that's what that stuff is if you want to play around with it. Or if I want to play around with it. Here's anything that's a 12 by 12 and smaller, like canvases or anything, paper, tiles. Here's my extra papers, so I got extra of that, my Legions, my pastel mat here. In case I need this and I run out of paper, I've got extra. So in here. And then here are my boards that I stick and tape my drawings to. These are just the hardwood boards right here. You can see I taped them down. I got different sizes and they're all right there. Probably can't get it back in. All right, here's where I stick all my paper at. This here is just like a kid's bookshelf, but it's super nice because it's made out of hardwood, and I can keep all my smaller pads of paper, medium-sized paper here, and then my larger size papers here. Here I just have some of my pencil storage little things. Got some bigger ones in here, brush container storage in case I travel and need to take my stuff with me. I got all different types of sizes of things. Over here is where, of course, I get my Pitt Artist pins. Got them in here along with just regular pins. And then I have my Liquitex Basic acrylic inks on top, along with little canvas panels if I need them for something like bracing my artwork. I use those. These here drawers are the pastel drawers. And this here is by Meeden. Like, I think that's how you pronounce it. Like, I really like them because not only do they have that like wood thing, they actually have these little gold knobs. And I don't know, they're just really cute. I like the gold knobs. But this is where I keep like charcoal, and I organized it all. My ink tints or my color pencils are all here. I go over this side, and then I got my watercolors and my pastels, soft pastels. And then bottom is like my graphite pencils. So I got that all in here, which is super nice to have. In this bottom drawer, I have like my erasers, my sharpeners here, miscellaneous little things in here. There's more erasers or my blender. So got some of my blenders in there. Refills, sanded paper, soft pastel holder, which is a chalk holder. Chalk. So I got another one of those. And then on this drawer here, I have like some of my blenders. I have like a hole puncher. I don't know why I got that. Actually, it's kind of cute. It's for bookmarks, or at least I use it for bookmarks, and it's actually shaped like a heart. Here's just some like pencil extenders, palette knives. I got water brush stuff. Got my razor X-Acto knives and different blades. Some little, this is what I use to mix up my titanium white and my stuff for color pencil from Brush and Pencil. I mix it in those. I think they're so cute. And then over here on this corner, I have my distilled water along with my oil, my odorless mineral spirits for oil painting. And all of my oil pastels are here, or oil-based stuff, basically. Anything oil-based. Up here is all my ink stuff. So anything ink related is on this one. Then we go up, and then I have all my soft pastel stuff here. And then up here is basically anything water soluble. That should be down there. But anything water soluble, watercolor, acrylic, stuff like that, it's going to be up here. Gouache. And then up on top is my color pencil stuff. So anything for color pencil. Got a super bright light up there, which definitely helps me out if I cannot see. So that is my studio that I work in quite often. Oh, inside this drawer, excuse me, I do have, this is where I keep my odorless mineral spirits along with my Liquitex Basic like varnishes, any of that stuff, gesso. And then over on this side is just like oil paint stuff, like linseed oil and stuff like that, solvents. Down here is a big roll of glassine along with my camera, GoPro, camera stuff. That bag inside here just has more pencil holders, but bigger. And so that's pretty much all that stuff. So now that we took a look at the studio that I work in, let's go ahead and move on over and I'll show you guys my other studio, or actually it's not really a studio, my office / craft room. All right, so welcome to my never seen before craft room / I don't know what to say, storage, like doing my shipping stuff room. So in here I have my Cricut and I got it on this little table where I can work on it. I also have a laminator down here. All my rolls of paper or shipping paper for boxing up stuff is here. I have this little cart right beside it. It's got my stamp for whenever with my little logo here. But my little stamps, I can stamp the back of my paintings instead of having to do it on the Cricut like I was doing before. So it makes it nicer, just any little knick-knack stuff. And these, I just have my postcards that I make. We got some cardstock. There's to make stamps. Photo paper. So we got different stuff. Here's paper that's made out of hard plastic, and actually I should have used this before because I think it's a little bit thicker. But these are to make like, I can make my own stencils using my Cricut. Here is some lamination paper, more cardstock along with foiling. And slide it in. These are brand new, so it's like, here's stencils. Got all kinds of stencils in here. Here is if you're wanting to make like a binder and want to have lamination sheets in there, or at least protection sheets. Here's some stickers that I like to put on envelopes or anything that I'm mailing off, especially if I sell something. Definitely want to use the DC Fine Art little stickers. Got some in there. Here is my sewing material that I have, like extra sheets or sizes to do like small little crafts. And then this here is my outdoor paint that I use for doing like Halloween decorations, stuff like that that I'm going to have outside. I'll use these along with a little mini cutter. I thought it was so cute. It looked like the Cricut one that I got. Then I got down here, we're just going to go through this real quick. That's my shredder over there. But I have my cross stitch stuff in case I want to cross stitch again. Got my brushes and stamps for brushing, like stamping. You can see little stamp brushes, sponges. Here is where I keep some of my ribbon in case you need ribbon. Got lots of it. Little knick-knack stuff. You want like little circle foams, jewels, bedazzle stuff. I mean, there's just all types of little knickknacks in there. We got, and this one here is where I do like some jewelry if you wanted to go into jewelry making. Down here is where I keep my diamond paintings. So I got my diamond painting. Here's my sewing stuff. So got those little sewing things with little sewing tools in there. Then I got my desk here that I work at. Inside this box is just stuffing for, like, I like the stuff that the Powerful Pack does for stuffing, and I'm use this for if I'm going to ship stuff out. But I get all black. I ordered black. That was really cool. If I can get it back in there. Got my little label maker here, along with like staples, miscellaneous. I got lead refills. Here's my crochet needles for crocheting. Got all the sizes. And of course, label maker refills. And then I got all my pins and stuff right there. Down here are my sewing machines. So I got my serger and a sewing machine down there. Don't mind the trash. Need to throw that out. So, and I got two more of my sewing machines still upstairs. But that's where I have my embroidery and another one. So in here I have opened this up and you got your tape. You got some Velcro little stuff or adhesive, heat adhesive for sewing, stamps, thumbtacks. Here's some of my little bobbins for my sewing machine. Got some roller cutters down here, some tracing stuff, needle thread stuff. Got some buttons, different stuff, some transfer paper. Down here is for my daughter, like if she wanted to make friendship bracelets or we can both make them together. Some more of the diamond painting that she was working on. And then over here is just the diamond painting glue, glow-in-the-dark glue. Got my tape for boxes, stuff for making wreaths. Here's some pins and some yarn needles. Got some glue and some thimbles here. And then over here we just have like some cameras, got some glue, got some measuring tape, refills for my serger, so not just white, I can go to black. Got all this glue, whole lot of glue I collected just from my kids throughout the years because they love to make slime, and my daughter's big with slime, so I got that in case she wants to make some slime. And then we have, or any other crafts, and then just some indoor or outdoor sun protectant and water shield stuff. So we can close that up. And then my daughter's desk is here, which I know it's probably a little messy because basically I'm the one who created the mess. So I told her I was going to clean it up for her. But here's one of her paintings that she did out of cardboard. I thought it was pretty cool. So that's why I put it there. I was like, we need to keep it. And then she also did this. It's like a little lily pad and it hangs here. Oops, I'm stuck. And it's got a little bee and the little lily pad up here. You guys can see it. It just hangs from the wall. She's got all her stuff too. So she's even got, I gave her my Ecoline watercolor stuff. She's got markers, color markers, watercolor markers, paint pans. She's got her erasers, pencils, charcoal. She got whole 9 yards to be able to do any little art craft she wants. Here's where I keep, I do have some of those canvases back there. But here's my printer and a drone. I don't know. Might use that sucker. I don't know. I don't know. Printer, and then got the ink for refills and the printer paper. Here is where I keep some of my finished artworks that are ready. They're already listed on eBay for sale, so they are waiting for their forever home here. And we got all of them. They're already matted and they're already stamped, ready to go. I need to sign this one though. And then if you look over here on this side, this is just a miscellaneous drawer. I got some soft pastels here in case I want to use them or my daughter wants to use them. We can both use those. Here's some of my mats. So I got the different sizes like 4x7s, 5x7s with the backing boards on them. Along with my 11x14s with backing boards. Hot glue gun. This is my mini. I got to put the other one in there. Sandpaper and framing stuff. Empty drawer for whatever you want. Cardboard sheets for mailing out any of my drawings. If they're smaller, you can put them here and then sandwich them in between this cardboard, wrap it with plastic wrap, and that way it protects the inside of the painting when shipping. There's more shipping supplies, label maker or label stuff, and a lot of the corners and stuff that I need to like send off any of my paintings. Over here is just miscellaneous drawer. So we got all the pencils, just random stuff, tools, screwdrivers, more random like paintbrushes, filing stuff, little sticky stickers like you can stick on the bottom of something that don't scratch, just like little miscellaneous stuff. Then I got a lot of my cords, connections, adapters, stuff in here. Go on down. Battery drawer. Yes, got a lot of batteries because we have a lot of animatronics for our Halloween, and I just take them all back out and put them in here. So that way I can use them for all my lightings or anything that I need. We definitely got batteries. And there'll probably be some for this Halloween. They'll probably be gone. So this is only a limited time. We have a lot of Halloween stuff. Here is some of the crayons for my daughter if she wants to use her little wax melter for her crayons and make art. Here's the markers. She uses these Crayola markers for her little mini airbrush if she wants to airbrush, and she just puts the marker on top and she can airbrush too. And there is her little crayon melter. So this melts crayons and she can do wax, like acoustic art or something. Here's some extra stuff that I have, like extra paints and stuff like that, acrylic paints, watercolors, whatever it is. It's in here so that way it's free for both of us. So for me and my daughter, we can both use these. She can use them whenever she wants. She knows that she's got access to all of it. And that way she doesn't use a lot of the stuff that is the high dollar stuff that you can sell. She don't need it for practice. So here is my Cansimi Tins drawing boards. These are really nice. I really do like them. I also have my soft pastel pastel mat here, cut in 16 by 20s, and then my canvas boards. So I got some Richardsons here, and then got some of these cheapos from like Hobby Lobby. Now the only reason why I call them cheapos is because they can warp or they can bend depending on where you have them. I've had these for years stored up flat or now in this thing, and so far they haven't warped, but I have had them warp, so they can do it. But you can also straighten them back out too, just by adding some weight to it. So it ain't too big of a deal on those, at least not for me. So up here, I got a lot of, what is this, like parchment paper stuff. You see way up here. That I use to make my own patterns in sewing. So I create my own patterns. And then here is like a sewing book. I got all my color pencil magazines here in case my daughter wants to see them too. I got my Color and Light. Really good book here by James Gurney. I got actually another one here, Imaginative Realism. So cool. So here's all the art related stuff. Here is a lot of notepads, notebooks, paper, blank paper, and regular writing paper. Anything you need paper related is here. Down below is my craft and sewing. So we got quilting, we got crafting, all the little craft stuff. Even my daughter can make stuff. And then down here is all of my crochet or my cross stitch books. Like you can crochet this for Whiskey or one of your dogs. It's so cool. I love those. And then down here is just cups, and then I got some seashells, just some random stuff. Inside this thing here is just more sewing bobbins and sewing, not bobbins, but spools of thread, and they're both the same. Yeah, they're all spools of thread in there. Over here is where I keep some of my bigger stuff. Like this here is my 12 by 16 for my picture, 16 by 20 on the outside, and got my mat board underneath. I got it covered up so no dust or anything gets on it. And then over here is my little sheets that you put your paintings in once it's done, all matted and everything. You put them in these little plastic sleeves. So those sleeves here are 5 by 7. I got 11 by 14, and I got 12 by 16. Little oval canvas. I really like those. And then I have some of the, like, these are some of the boards that are finished and ready to grow, ready to go. They are on eBay. They're ready to sell, along with the drawings. So anything that's in the matted ones like this, go over there. This is ready to go. And then these are unfinished paintings that should be matted, and I have not got the mats for them yet. So I need to get some more. They're 11 by 14s, and I don't have that. So down here is just more stuffing, more sewing stuff. I got more of the spools of thread there. And then in here is just like extra notebooks or patterns. Got lots and lots of patterns. More crayons for my daughter. And then also up here is the boxes that I ship out a lot of my paintings with. At least these are for my 16 by 20. These are 22 by 22, I think, size boxes. And they're only 4 inches. So that's for my shipping. So that pretty much sums up this room. But what's really cool about this is I can flip a little switch here, and I've got another super bright light in case I need it where I can't see. Those lights are so awesome. I actually got that from Lowe's a long time ago, and I love it. So anyways, this here is my secondary craft room slash, I don't know, like matting and getting my stuff shipped out, shipping room, office. I guess it would be office. So yeah, and my cat did that. So bad kitty. All right. Interested in some of my art storage drawers or cabinets? I do have that listed in my Amazon affiliate links in the description below, so go check those out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this studio tour along with the, almost didn't say that right, studio tour, along with the office and craft room tour. Definitely, hopefully it gives you maybe something to think about if you guys are like trying to look for something or look for ideas. Maybe any of those things might help you out. I don't know. But anyways, I had to get rid of this headband. It was seriously like poking me in the back of my ears right here. I think I got bruises now. Either that or my ears are probably gonna go. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like, share the video, leave a comment. Any of those things definitely helps the channel grow. Also, if you haven't subscribed, I would love you guys to subscribe because we do have live streams on Tuesdays as long as the internet stays in commission, and there is no really strong stores that knock it out. But other than that, we do have live streams on Tuesday. If we don't have a live stream on Tuesday, I try and get a video out to you no matter what. This is kind of an extra bonus video. I do like throwing those out there. And plus that, I was just wanting to get your feedback. Would you guys like for me to do like a vlog where I just kind of talk to you about things art related, or maybe things or how things are going? I have a lot of thoughts in my head about stuff that's like not pertaining to like actually working on artwork, but I was wanting to talk to you guys about some of the things that I've experienced while being on YouTube and doing artwork, and some of the distractions and stuff that's got me to do to where I was honed in so much on my artwork, not thinking about other stuff. So I'd really like to see what you guys think about that. If I do like not just a live stream, but if I do like a vlog each week where I just talk to you guys about stuff that's kind of like on my mind, how's it been going, just things out there. And not every week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of things to talk about. Maybe. I don't know. I'm pretty good at talking. So tell me what you think. See if that might interest you, because I definitely have some things to share. So yeah, I guess until next time, bye you guys.